I remember him gambling a little
Jeff
bit.
Bridges got polio in that movie.
No, Jeff Bridges gave Iron Man like that injection that makes him what's the word? Paralyzed from like the waist down or something. For like
Really?
yeah, you remember when he looked all veiny and stuff?
Oh, is that why in Iron Man 2 he was all disgusting?
I don't know about that, but I know for sure that there was that scene where I think they're both in like a living room. Yeah, Jeff Bridges just like injects him with like some serum and it makes him paralyzed.
No, I don't remember. I just remember Iron Man's sexist joke. Good God, you're a woman.
Oh my god.
And myself laughing at it for some reason.
Has a really strong opening, pretty strong middle, and then it doesn't fall apart at the end, but the ending, the third act is significantly, there's a little bit of a drop off in quality because it just ends with two people fighting each other on a rooftop.
That's pretty cool. It's just a typical superhero movie.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, I mean, it was pretty common back then, but still, it's even more common today. So, I mean, I'd give it a strong 7 to 8. I think the
Give it
directing was
8.2.
good, the writing was good. I remember
What's it called? I thought the Incredible Hulk was a 4 out of 10.
I'd give Incredible Hulk a 1. I don't remember anything from it, and I have no
Really?
desire to go back and watch it.
Yeah. I would just skip the Incredible Hulk. Iron Man 2, I give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 is pretty. They say it's like if you watch them back to back to back, like say like if you're just marathoning all of them, they say Iron Man 2 is better, but as a standalone
By itself, it's
movie,
pretty bad.
by itself, it's not very good. I'd give it like a
I mean,
5.
the fight scene at Japanese garden, whatever, is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. The villain's pretty meh again.
I mean, you mentioned earlier about Whiplash just like popping in and looking pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, he looked cool, but he wasn't a very good villain.
Um, the racetrack scene, you said.
Yeah, the only thing I remember from that movie was the racetrack scene. And I remember
That's all I remember.
Black Widow like beating up people. Same thing with the chubby guy. But other than
He beat
that,
up one dude.
yeah, he beat up one person, and Black Widow like beat up like 10. That was the joke. But very cluttered movie, setting up too much in one movie. Not that great.
I thought Thor 1 was a solid, I give it a 4.
Yeah, I'd give it a light 5. I think Thor 1 is pretty uninteresting.
I know you weren't a big fan of the Dutch angles.
Yeah, it makes me feel like the movie's gonna fall over.
Loki really wasn't cool. I don't know. Like, reviewing the first Marvel movies is, like, really hard because, like, none of
You
them are
haven't
really
seen them
that
in so
good.
long.
No, none of them are really not that good, if we're just being honest.
Well, Captain America and Iron Man are okay.
I think
I'd
Captain
say
America,
Iron
the
Man
first
1's
Avenger is
pretty good.
pretty good. The first half of Captain America, the first Avenger, was perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I remember bits and pieces from Captain America 1. I thought it was a pretty fun movie. Nothing too deep or, like, nothing.
I mean, I think it had the
super
best
interesting.
ending.
Best ending. Oh, yeah, I mean,
when,
that was pretty neat.
or the post-credit scene, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like, him going to the eyes and then waking up, and then Nick Fury's like, "You gonna be all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just had a date." It was all
Yeah.
dramatic. I thought that was kind of sad.
Yeah, I think for what it is, Captain America is pretty decent. Like, I mean, I'll give them credit. They couldn't really do it as well as they did with Thor. Or, no, sorry, they didn't do Thor as well as they did with Captain America, where they take a kind of goofy superhero and make them serious.
I don't
All
think Captain
that.
America can be that goofy.
Captain America looks. I mean, he looks kind of but the tone and everything of the movie itself matches, and it's serious
Maybe
enough
the
to
first
where.
Avenger had a good outfit for Captain. The Avengers 1 Captain America's outfit looks pretty horrible to me.
Yeah, looks pretty
I
bad.
didn't like that.
I don't know what I thought was a good idea, but it's okay.
I mean, Avengers 1, I give that a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it a strong 7. It's really fun. Fucking. It looks like a TV movie, but that's okay.
It does now because, like, at the time, I guess
No, even at the time it looked dull.
Alright.
I mean, oh hey, Derek. Derek's here. Derek, rate Iron Man 1 out of 10. Just real quick.
I would say 7.
Okay, rate Incredible Hulk.
5.
Okay, rate Iron Man 2.
I would say 6.
Rate Captain America, the first one.
An 8.
And then rate Avengers 1.
8.
Alright. I don't know, like, my thing about the first few movies, like, there wasn't that much, like, strong character stuff, you know? Like, nothing too deep. I feel like Phase 2 got a lot deeper.
Iron Man 1 had the best character exploration out of the first movie.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Because Captain America was already explored. Like, he was a morally perfect guy, minus his... Like, he was just a perfect dude minus his physical stuff, but then he was perfect at the super soldier serum.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think with Captain America, it's like, they didn't really need to do anything deep with him. Iron Man needed that character growth, whereas Captain America didn't need it for his, like, first movie. They could have done it, but it worked better in Winter Soldier when he was already established and whatnot, but I guess we'll get to that later.
Okay, there's my issue. I think Alejandro said this one time, like, Iron Man just learns the same lesson every single time. I guess that kind of bothers me, you know?
I wouldn't say it's the same lesson.
In the first 2 movies, kind of.
Well, I don't really count the second. With the second movie, he doesn't fucking learn anything. It's just a waste of time, that movie.
I think they spent too much time world building.
Exactly. They forgot to make a movie. It was just an advertisement.
Yeah, I think even the director, like, said something about that.
Yeah. Well, so Avengers 1 is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, Avengers 1. Anyway, back to Avengers 1. I remember when Avengers 1 first came out, like, everybody was scared it was just gonna be Iron Man 2.5. I don't think it was. I mean, Iron Man kind of was focused on a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Captain America, or fucking Avengers, is its own thing, but, like, I think they did a really great job at giving every character something to do. The characters that weren't given anything to do didn't take up that much screen time. They all had really good. Yeah.
I think Hawkeye getting control is a pretty smart decision.
Yeah, they all had a really nice banter, and it made the, the moment where they're able to come together feel really satisfying.
I would say Hawkeye has a good screen time because how the character got introduced.
Yeah.
Look at Black Widow in Iron Man 2. How much screen time does she have?
None.
Fucking more than she needs for, like, the little she does. It's just she's there to beat the shit out of people, and that's it.
That's cool, I guess.
I mean, yeah, but...
I mean, she's a stereotypical BA good-looking chick that can kick butt, you know?
I know, but characters need to be more than just a badass character girl who can kick butt. They need to be fleshed out.
When she gets her own movie, I think she's gonna have like a more character, like a positive character.
Yeah, I hope she does because all they do with her is give her a sad backstory, which I can't even remember. But
The Red Room, her training was harsh. They like burned her cookie, and she can't have kids. And she related to Hulk because Hulk can't have kids because if he gets too excited, he turns into the Hulk. You know.
okay, well, I don't care because her character isn't interesting. She's just there to wrap her leg around dudes' necks and I don't know, fucking beat people up. Like,
Wrap her legs around dude's neck.
I mean, she does do that. I mean, even Hulk, who I don't even like. I think I dislike Hulk more than I fucking don't like Black
Really?
Widow.
Really?
Yeah, because we'll get to Hulk later, I guess. He's okay. In
I
the
guess
first
because
Avengers.
he also really doesn't do much in the first Avengers except for like powerhousing and everything.
Well, I think he's done okay in the first Avengers, and then he's getting worse and worse. Unbearable in Infinity War, but I guess we'll get there later.
I read up on what the Russo brothers are doing with Hulk Infinity War, and I really don't mind it, I guess.
I get what they were doing, but he was given nothing to do. Nothing interesting to do. He was just there.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
But I think Avengers 1 worked when it really shouldn't have. Like, a movie like Avengers 1 shouldn't have worked. It should have been like Justice League, you know?
Well, no, I mean, it's not like it was doomed or anything like that. Justice League is a movie that's doomed because, think about it. Every movie leading up to Avengers was, for the most part, passable. And I'm excluding Incredible Hulk because...
Okay, honestly, we're just rating it like on MCU standards because like a lot of most of the MCU movies are actually just good movies, you know.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but
I don't know.
Incredible Hulk I'm not counting because they don't even really care about Hulk's backstory in Avengers because they kind of do their own thing with him. So everything besides Hulk was building up and there was actual hype behind it because the movies weren't bad. Whereas if you take something like Justice League, you have Man of Steel, which, as much as I like it, is not a very good movie.
Oh, that was alright.
Batman v Superman, which is a fever dream.
Didn't mind that. I didn't mind Batman vs Superman. I kind of liked it. Not gonna lie.
Wonder Woman, which is the most competent out of all of them, but is still very dull and boring.
I'm gonna hate for this if more than 2 people watch this, but I think Wonder Woman was overhyped.
I think you're gonna get heat for it because you're insinuating that Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are better movies than Wonder Woman when they're just pretentious clusterfucks of a movie, and Zack Snyder just thinks he's fucking hot
I was
shit.
a fan of Zack Snyder. I can't say that with a straight face, but I don't know. Like, I guess just one of those guilty pleasures for some reason. Like, I think it just fits my personality, I guess, because I personally like love to play games that are kind of brain dead. Like, my favorite games are Kingdom Hearts and Batman Arkham Devil May Cry. Those are hack and slash beat 'em up games, you know.
They're not brain dead. They're not insulting.
I mean, still though, like, I don't know.
Well, my point is that you would agree that those movies are worse than the Phase 1 Avengers movies, correct?
Yeah. I'd rather watch Iron Man 2 all day.
Exactly.
I'd rather watch Man of Steel than Incredible Hulk. But I'd rather watch Iron Man 2.
Fair. But you're batting... Oh, and I can't forget Suicide Squad, which is part of that.
I like Suicide Squad. I like it. I don't know why. I like it. I don't know.
I'm happy you liked it, but
I don't know what's wrong with me. I liked it. I don't know why.
Okay.
Like,
I'm not gonna get on your tail about it. I'm not gonna argue because I'm happy you liked it. I went into the theater not wanting to see it, and I came out not happy.
Is it at least so bad that it was like, you know,
No.
one of those bad movies where you can enjoy it? Or
Nope, it was
Oh.
just
felt
devoid of
rushed.
anything interesting to me, and I just did not like it, and I wanted to.
I don't know if like Margot Robbie was too much of eye candy for me or something. That's why I liked it.
No,
Anyways,
it's super rushed.
yeah. just every DC movie leading up to Justice League wasn't very good. So therefore, Justice League is a movie that's fucking doomed because you have all these movies, you're batting zero, and then Justice League comes out. And here's the thing. Even for people who liked Man of Steel and who liked Batman v Superman, like my dad likes those movies. He doesn't like Justice League because they kicked Zack Snyder off of the project and got the guy who made the Avengers, what's his name? Joss Whedon, to Frankenstein the movie, and it just came out like garbage because like at least Zack Snyder, as much as I don't like him, he had a vision. Like he had an idea, he had ideas he wanted to put to the screen. He had something to say. I don't think what he had to say was very interesting or good, but at least it was something, and he obviously was going to continue that with Justice League, and then tragedy happened with his personal life or whatever, and then
I think his like daughter committed suicide or something.
I don't know the specifics, but it doesn't have to do with him. What I have a problem with is that they come in and they Frankenstein this fucking movie together with Joss Whedon, and it's insulting. It just turns out to be a garbage movie. So when you make good movies, or passable movies at the very least, that lead up to a good movie, then there you go. You got a good movie. You have talent behind it. You have writing. You have planning. Planning. It's planned. It was all fucking planned. Marvel probably has the next like 50 years planned.
I think Ben Affleck was an alright actor. Anyway, okay, Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3. Okay. Iron Man 3 was a solid. I like Iron Man 3 the most. I think it's a solid. See, this is why 10 out of 10 is hard for me because a lot of movies are just gonna be a 6. You know.
Mhm.
I give this one a 6.8, 7. And I want to guess like how Robert Downey Jr. is like the Godfather and so praised, but Iron Man 2 really wasn't that good. It wasn't. I don't know if I said it was above 6. I think I gave it a 6 or a 7. But Iron Man 2 wasn't that good. Iron Man 1 was really good for what it was, but compared to other movies, it's just there. I mean, it looks good still. I think it keeps up.
If you go back to watching, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Iron Man 3 was pretty good to me though. I liked how like focused it was and like I don't think it was like fish out of water like Thor was. I think it was more like because Iron Man's invincible, you know, he's basically invincible by the time Iron Man 3 with all the suits that protect him.
Yeah.
I think it's all taken away.
I think
you mentioned something about the child acting kind of bothering you.
Yeah, a little bit, but my thing with Iron Man 3 is that it's actually like a pretty good movie by itself, but what's sad is that they just ignore Iron Man 3 completely. Like by the end of Iron Man 3, he like retires or whatever.
Yeah, that was his ending, you said, right?
That was supposed to be his ending, but I think Iron Man 3 probably should have come much later on in the timeline if this is what we're doing, you know, bringing him back and doing everything like that. So it's like,
honestly, you could place Iron Man 3 after Infinity War or Endgame. It'll probably still work out. If Iron Man, if Iron Man doesn't die in Endgame, like Iron Man 3 could probably still work out.
I mean, they're already exploring his psychology in Endgame. I'm assuming. I'm sure they're doing that. So I don't think Iron Man 3 would have a reason to exist. But that's my issue with it, is that it's a good movie, and by itself, it's really good. But I'm just disappointed because he's given an ending, and then they were just like, oh, fuck that, no. So it's kind of a pointless movie, but I'm okay with it because it's a well-made movie. I think it's okay. I'd give it a strong 6.
What was after Iron Man 3? It was a Thor 2.
Don't you have a list?
Oh, I think I'll pop that out real quick. I think it was Thor.
I think it's...
Sure it's Thor.
Yeah, I think it's Thor too. Fucking piece of shit. Oh my god.
That's a 4 out of 10. I can't defend that. I mean, there's a group of people out there that I watched this one guy. His name is Tyrone Magnus. He reviews stuff. He likes the first two Thors more than Thor Ragnarok and Guardians.
Mm,
1 and 2.
that tells me that he likes directors that don't have a fucking style.
I don't even know the directors of like Thor 1 or 2.
I can't rate Thor.
I know
seen
I
it,
don't know
but
the
it doesn't
directors
get
by
Thor.
heart, but still.
I
3
haven't
was
seen the second
memorable.
Thor.
Keep it like
Loki
that.
was in it, but I don't even think he was that good in that movie. Well, was he? No, I think he was alright.
He was like the only redeeming thing about that movie is the only thing I remember is him. Even then, they're not even given very funny lines or jokes or anything. It's just all boring shit. I don't remember a single thing from it. I remember it being bland looking. I remember it being boring. I remember that one scene where he turns into Captain America and I didn't laugh because I thought it was stupid. And it just reminded me that I'd rather watch a better fucking movie.
That makes sense.
Uh,
Iron Man.
Iron
what's
Man
it called?
3. I'll
I
put 4
already
out of 10.
rated that. 4?
Mhm.
I guess. What was your issue with it?
For me, I just don't have the feel of like Iron Man feels more stale over time, and it's just like a side movie
It is.
for me.
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Thor: Dark World and Captain America: The Winter Soldier mattered a lot more to the overall, like, the overall story of the MCU.
That's kind of what I like
Captain
about
America-
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, it's like a standalone. Like you could, it's like one of those like comic books where it's like like old comic books where it's just about that superhero and just that superhero and not like the whole overarching story.
Yeah.
It's like just picking up a random comic book and just reading about it.
Yeah.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That's a 9.5 out of 10.
I'm feeling strong 8.
9.8 out of 10.
Strong 8 to a light 9.
I'll put 9.
What's it called? I could write a whole video essay or make a whole video essay on Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but it's like, just like the Russo brothers, like, I don't know if like the Russo brothers, the screenwriters, is people who made the script or the screenplay, whatever. I don't know, but like, there's just so many lines in that movie that just I love for some reason, and each time I watch it, I find something new. Like that one scene, spoiler, that one scene where like Cap and Black Widow are in the truck together, like getting away from Hydra or whatever. She was like, I have a question for you. You don't have to answer, but I feel like not answering kind of answers the question. And it's about like, if like their kiss earlier in the movie was his first kiss since like the 1940s or whatever. And then later, like minutes later, when they're at the old SHIELD base, they see Stark and they comment about, oh look, that's Tony's dad. And then she's like, who's the girl? And he doesn't answer. And, it kind of answers the question, like how she said before, not answering, kind of answers the question. I don't know. I thought that was pretty clever. Like, I caught that. I didn't catch that the first time watching it, but I caught it after, like, the 50th time watching that movie.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Winter Soldier is as good as a sequel can get in a lot of ways. It expands on the world. It expands on the characters. They're given more things to do.
Yeah, I think Winter Soldier is easily Black Widow's best film.
Yeah, I mean, she's actually given things to do too. She's actually kind of bearable in that movie.
No, she's like she's actually like useful. Like Steve couldn't have done it without her because she gave like that when they're at the mall. He needed her because he doesn't have to sneak around, but she did. She knew everything about how to sneak around.
Yeah, I think Winter Soldier's best quality is that it takes.
I think it's the best sequel movie.
I think it takes the character. They understand the character. They think, okay, Captain America is a very, this is right, this is wrong type person. He grew up fighting Nazis. Nazis are bad. So we put him in now times. It's more about ideals and politics and all this crap.
It's all more complex. It touches on the idea that like people in general are just more complex than the way they used to be back then.
Yeah, so it's like it's instead of everybody banding together and fighting an enemy, it's now we realize that these enemies that share
Avengers
similar
1 was
principles
like that.
you would never notice are on the insides. So it's like, well, what do we do? How do we just keep doing what we're doing. And I think it's a good exploration of that stuff.
Yeah, like I think after Avengers 1, they stopped with the whole like that's clearly the bad guy, this is clearly the good guy. Easy, just tell the story about how the good guy wins, you know? Like Phase 2 started getting more into like, is this actually right? Is this actually wrong? You know?
Well,
Like
Age of Ultron kind of fucks all that up, but
I mean, they still try. I like Age of Ultron. Okay, yeah.
well, I
sweet.
mean, we'll get there.
Actually, Age of Ultron doesn't come next. Guardians of the Galaxy comes after the Winter Soldier, apparently.
Okay. Well, closing thoughts on Winter Soldier. It's not like fucking masterpiece or anything like that, but it's really
I
damn
think
good
it's a
movie.
masterpiece. I give it masterpiece rating. I give it at 9.5 out of 10, 9.8 maybe. I like it. I'm a little biased though, because Captain America is my favorite superhero.
I mean, it's definitely one of the best superhero movies, but yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean,
It's as good as the Avengers. I like how it works, and it's as good as the Avengers in my opinion. Or maybe like not, maybe just a little less, but like, you know, almost as good as the Avengers for like, you know, all the characters coming in for the first time ever, like that.
yeah, I mean, I don't remember as much about Guardians 1 as I do about Guardians 2. But it had a style. It didn't look all that great, but I loved all the characters. But they're great. They're great characters. Gamora starts out kind of shallow, but they do really good stuff with her in 2. I guess we'll get there when we get there, but
I didn't like Gamora in the first one.
yeah, it's a fun movie. Yeah.
Marvel movie space. Age of Ultron, I give that an 8.5 out of 10. I really liked it.
Well, I would give Guardians 1 a 6. Strong 6.
8.
Age of Ultron?
I give that an 8.
But
I'm feeling a strong 4.
I guess I put it a 6.
I think Ultron had a lot of clever lines in that movie that were a little unappreciated. I mean, that were a little unappreciative or unappreciated.
I
Well,
like.
guess those can't say the
For
word.
me, I would agree, but I don't. But the execution of it is bad.
I thought the execution was fine. I think Hawkeye was very I don't know how I feel about Hawkeye. Some days I liked his story in Age of Ultron, and some days I just who cares?
I think Hawkeye's arc was the only redeeming quality about Age of Ultron.
I would say that, but it has the same issue as Iron Man 3, where his arc ended, his story ended there.
And it did end there, just up until like recently. He actually did have an ending. Basically, like, it's been how long since Age of Ultron came out?
That was Age of Ultron came out in May 1st, 2015.
2015, really?
Yeah, that long ago.
Well, it's been 4 years. I don't remember the last Marvel character that actually had an ending for a good 4 years.
I mean, they really don't have endings, but they have to have endings in real life, I guess. Like, this is all new territory, I guess, with like Endgame.
I think Age of Ultron is not very good. I think I don't like Ultron. I think he is completely not intimidating at all. I don't think
like
the
Vision.
characters are given very interesting things to do. I think it's also
The
just a
Vision's
big
part was
advertisement.
pretty. The Vision's part was.
I loved how they explained how Vision was even fucking created for like 10 minutes. That was great.
Captain America's Vision is pretty sad. Come on, Steve, we get to go home. And then he turns around, everybody's gone, and he's by himself. He's alone. That was pretty sad.
I just can't. I didn't like Scarlet Witch, and I especially didn't like Quicksilver in that movie. I thought Quicksilver was a bag of dicks.
I liked Quicksilver.
Fucking hate him in that movie. The actor who played him is bad. He's bad in Godzilla. He's bad in this movie. He's given nothing to do. He's given nothing to say that's good.
I think Joss Whedon, that was his last. No, was it Kevin Feige or Joss Whedon? That was like their last time, like directing a movie like that
Feige
because
is,
it was too
I
much
think,
stress
the
for one
producer?
person.
I think he just got fucking pissy because of the reaction that Age of Ultron got. I think that's
I liked it.
what happened, but
It got pretty good reviews.
it's fine. Yeah, I mean, well, no, I don't think it's fine. I think it's bad, but I thought it was just
I think
not
it was 8.5
interesting.
out of 10. Next is Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
I don't know if we want to get to Ant-Man for you.
Wait, what?
Ant-Man.
I'd give it a strong 5.
Strong 5. Ant-Man. Okay, this is where it starts getting hard because, like, to me, like, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Captain Marvel are all 6 out of 10.
Well, hold up, Doctor Strange was so good.
They're all the
Actually,
same.
no. Doctor Strange was actually pretty good. That's a 7 out of 10. Okay, anyway, Ant-Man, I give it a 7.2 out of 10. I like Paul Rudd. He was a gem, in my opinion. The action was pretty new and appealing. I like that a lot. We didn't talk about the action that much. Iron Man 1 had good action. Hulk had Iron Man 2 had alright action. Thor 1 had pretty unreal action. Avengers 1 had good action. Captain America good action.
Winter Soldier has amazing fight scenes.
That street fight scene between Captain and Winter Soldier.
But yeah, Ant-Man. I don't really think there's much to say about it. I do remember bits and pieces of it. In particular, like it's not terribly written. It's just very predictable.
It doesn't really matter in the all story.
I thought Paul Rudd was a good Ant-Man. I thought he did a good job in that movie. But
I think Ant-Man serves more as a purpose as who the heck is that one dude who gets big and small in Civil War, you know?
yeah, I didn't find Ant-Man very appealing. I thought it was also
It
very
was fun.
disappointing because I don't know if you know this, but basically, Ant-Man was going to be directed by Edgar Wright. If you don't know who
I don't know
Edgar
who that
Wright is, do you?
Nope.
He has made a lot of the notable films. Shaun of the Dead is a perfect comedy movie. World's End is a perfect comedy movie.
Never seen that.
Hot Fuzz is a perfect
Never seen
action comedy movie. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is
Never seen that.
perfect comedy movie. And Baby Driver isn't perfect, but it's also still great. So
Oh, I've seen Baby Driver.
yeah, so Baby Driver is literally the worst film he's made, and it's still a solid 8 out of 10 movie.
It was kind of trippy to me, but I thought it was alright. I think that was the point, though, right?
He has an amazing style. He has great writing, except for Baby Driver for whatever fucking reason. But he was supposed to make Ant-Man, and he got a little bit too creative, I guess. You know, Marvel. I won't say that they hate creativity because they're letting the Russo brothers run a little wild, just a little bit. But I guess Ant-Man was a bit too much for what Edgar Wright was pitching and whatnot. So they kicked him off, and then they got whoever the fuck is making Ant-Man now. And it came out
liked it.
fine. So,
Fine.
fine. Came out fine.
Captain America Civil War is next. That's an 8.9 out of 10. Maybe 9 out of 10.
I'd give it a strong 6.
6?
Yeah. That's still above average.
What do you say, Derek?
I would say 7.
It's pretty good. I really wish it was more focused on Captain America. It was basically an Avengers movie.
I think it was a great continuation of Winter Soldier, but I think it had some issues with how exactly
You don't like Zemo.
I think he's stupid, and also I think as much as I enjoy it, I think Spider-Man is completely out of place in the movie.
They had to advertise him, bro.
I just think that he just doesn't belong in that movie.
I mean, it made sense. I mean, they kind of made sense out of it in Homecoming.
I mean, sure, but for that movie in itself, he's completely out of place. But I mean, I'm having a strong. I'll give it a light 7. That's what I'll say. I'd give Civil War a light 7 because there's stuff I really like about it. I think it's a great continuation of Winter Soldier. I think it expands upon the themes really well. I think everything they do with Bucky is pretty awesome. The whole how that relates to Tony. I think it has a really good climax, but I think the villain is pretty blech. And I mean, yeah, they kind of villainize Tony to the point where he's completely fucking unlikable, and he even recruits a child to help fight. So that also damages his character quite a bit. So I think those are my main issues with it. Plus, it also looks like a TV movie for some fucking reason again.
I see that. What's next? Doctor Strange is next.
I would give it an 8.
I'd probably give it a 5.
I give it a solid 7.3. I think. 6.8. It's Iron Man 1, but with wizards.
It's just the same movie again. I mean, I feel like I should give it a light 6 or something because the effects are so amazing in that movie.
It's too good for what it is for the movie.
I really think the effects deserved a better movie because the effects are so good in that movie.
Yeah.
And the fighting is also pretty decent.
Yeah, it's not just like Harry Potter, just like just them like flicking their wands at each other,
Well, I mean, Harry Potter actually has like rules. But...
I've never seen a Harry Potter movie, by the way. I'm just making fun of it.
Oh, great. I mean, it was directed fine. Writing's not amazing, but Benedict Cumberbatch
is pretty good actor.
I think he does a good job for what he's given, but the character he's given, he's just such a dick.
He's just Iron Man, bro. Like,
but he's worse than Iron Man. He's even worse.
Like, I found him as more unlikable than Iron Man. Because at least Iron Man 1, like Robert Downey Jr. has like charisma that makes him likable somehow.
I mean, I guess you could. I get what they're going for. I understand it's the Scrooge thing. He starts out bad, he ends up good, but maybe it's the lack of variation because we've already had that with Iron Man. Maybe that's what's getting to me, but I feel like he just does things that are like just unexcusable, like to the point where it's just he's just doing things for the sake of the plot. Like when he reads the fucking book.
Back to his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, like just stuff like that. That's unexcusable things to me. Like if you have an unlikable character, I think that's actually okay. You can have an unlikable character, but when he's doing things just to make the movie go along in a specific way, that's a big no-no for me. I don't like that.
Really?
I like what's her face. What's the bald lady? I think she did the best job in that movie.
People didn't like how she was white. I don't know why, but people were complaining that she was like whitewashed or something. That's a term.
It's a Marvel movie. What the fuck do you expect? It's
a
stupid comic book movie.
But yeah, she was a good actress. What was after that? After that was Guardians 2.
Hey. I'd give it a strong 7 to a light 8.
I like that movie a lot, actually. It was pretty emotional, I think.
Yeah, there's lots of good stuff in it.
That's where Star-Lord's anger was like actually like made sense and it was actually kind of relatable.
Yeah.
The whole Gamora thing in Infinity War was kind of
I like the villain a lot.
Gamora and Nebula were very, very, very like explored on. I like them in that movie.
Yeah, I love
like their
the
relationship as sisters.
I love the stuff they do with Gamora and Nebula. I love the stuff. I think the only person who gets no, I actually disagree. People say that Drax wasn't touched on very well, and
He had one good scene, I think.
but I thought that scene for his character did enough for
was it?
everything. Where the Asian lady, like, you know, he looks like he's kind of at peace and whatnot, and he looks like he's fine, but she, you know, she touches on him, and then she's like, Jesus, oof, this guy's got some issues, and she starts like crying and whatnot. So I mean, to me, that communicated all I need to know. Because I
There were a
don't,
lot of good things. Yeah, like Yondu, he was pretty good. He was a likable character. Rocket, he was pretty cool. Star-Lord's dad was pretty cool. I mean, his motives were kind of there, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, I think everybody was given a good amount of things to do. I thought all the characters were written pretty well. It had a style still.
Yeah, I think
Didn't
James
look
Gunn
too
is
bad
just-
either. Didn't look too bad. Its
The
soundtrack.
Pac-Man thing was
fun.
kind of cringing.
Pac-Man. What?
Yeah, when like Quill was like using his powers.
Oh, no, I never
For
problem
this
with that.
end,
Yeah, I thought. I don't know if I love it. I gotta see it again to figure that out. But
it's because Quill's still in the old style.
Yeah, I know. I just thought it was kind of cringy. Next is Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Probably a strong 6.
I'll say 7. It's like see, that's what I don't get. So, like, that's why I don't like Iron Man 3 because like it's a side character. But like, I like Homecoming because it's like Iron Man 3, but it still connects with an introduction to develop the character wise, and it connects to other
I thought
story.
Homecoming was really good only because the plot twist was like actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'll say the plot twist is really great. Actually,
Like we knew it was coming because like
I
it was
didn't.
said that he was cast to play the Vulture. I already knew he was cast to play the Vulture, but like I still was like, oh, like crap, bro. Like when he opened the door.
Well, I
bro.
mean, we already knew he was Vulture by that time in the movie. We just didn't know that he was her dad.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what's so great about that is I don't remember the girl's name, but she's black. So I think they did that intentionally
Yeah.
because you really weren't expecting that. I'm
Alright.
sure they probably
Good
mentioned
night.
that she was
Good
adopted
night.
earlier on too. I bet.
Yeah.
Good night.
That was pretty good.
But yeah, I mean, Spider-Man: Homecoming is
The plot twist saved it a lot. I think Ned is a pretty good side character. I thought the penis Parker thing was not funny. I don't know why people laughed at that.
I think the writing in that movie is amazing. It's really well written, but
Yeah, it's in comedy.
No, it's the problem I have with the movie is that it's not directed very interestingly. Spider-Man's suit looks fake even when it's probably not. There's
Yeah, I
not
didn't like that.
very interesting action. It's nothing really terrible about the movie. It's just those things.
Yeah, there wasn't enough action for me. That's kind of held it back, and there was no swinging at all.
Yeah, that sounds like kind of like. You would think that sounds kind of like shallow, but in reality, if you're getting a Spider-Man movie, that is a good chunk of the movie
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
good action with his unique fighting and swinging.
yeah, I mean that's what you're signing up for. So you put him in a neighborhood setting. I get that's the point, but it doesn't make for interesting visuals and everything like that. It's pretty bland.
They probably saved a lot of money on the cinematography and effects of fighting and swinging though.
But yeah, I mean the characters are all great. Every character.
It's like another Disney Channel movie to me.
I can't agree.
Like the high school parts at least. But I guess that was the point though, because it was a teen comedy.
I thought they all acted pretty realistically. Even the people who bullied, in quotation marks, like Peter, like they weren't unlikable, and I mean they weren't cracking like completely horrible jokes either. They were cracking like the type of shit I would hear at my school.
High school.
You know, like
Penis Parker was kind of cringy. That was a dad joke.
Yeah, you know what? You guys call me fucking Gabriel, so just don't even try to say that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's just how.
Okay.
Yeah. So. That's.
Point taken.
Yeah, I thought it was written really well. I thought that was the best aspect of the movie is the dialogue.
I give it a strong 7.9.
Why don't you just give it an 8?
Because no action, no swinging.
Oh god. I'd give it a 6. Strong 6.
Next is Thor Ragnarok.
I'd give it an
It's an
8.
I give it a 9. I give
Strong
it
8
a
to a 9.
9. I liked it a lot actually. Thor really Chris Hemsworth was always. I feel like Chris Hemsworth was a really good actor, but whoever was in charge of like directing Thor 1 and 2 was bad, because you notice like in Avengers and Age of Ultron, Thor has some pretty funny like personality stuff, going on. I feel like the directors or the screenwriters kind of sucked in Thor 1 and 2 in some ways, and that's why he was like bland.
Yeah. I think they really understood what makes Thor interesting, or what makes Thor Thor, and they took it away. Like it was that simple all along.
Yeah, because even in the comics, Thor's kind of like boring to me at least.
I think they did an amazing job with Thor Ragnarok.
To me, the Guardian. I think they just copied and pasted Guardians of the Galaxy style, but minus the soundtrack of the old school soundtrack. It worked though. The colors.
Yeah, I thought that the villain was pretty great. I thought it was written really well. I fucking love Jeff Goldblum in that movie. I thought it did look a little cheap though. That's my main issue with it, is it looks pretty cheap.
That's why it's funny to me though.
But I still admired the actual design of everything. It didn't look.
Hulk was given something to do.
Yeah, Hulk was giving something to do. How they connect that with Black Widow is kind of, but that's whatever. But yeah, I love Ragnarok. It's probably one of my favorite.
9.2.
Yeah. Next is Black Panther, right?
Yep. I'm racist. 6.5.
I'd give it. It's not even a bad score. Give it a strong 5. Same movie as Doctor Strange. It's the same movie as Iron Man 1. It's the same movie.
Actually, no. I'll give it 6.8 because Killmonger. There's just some social issues I have. Like, it's not a problem in the movie. It's just problem like socially. So like, as you know, Black History Month was just recently passed by.
I don't like where this is going.
Oh, I know it's not that bad, but it's like, I like how, a good villain is a villain that makes you think about, like, dang, is this guy actually right? Are we wrong,
Yeah.
But he's still a villain at the end of the day, and I just don't like how, like, he's celebrated in our world. Like, walking down the hallway,
I don't think he is.
He was, at least in my school he was.
He had a point, though. He's not, he actually was correct. He was true, but he was correct, but he was still an extremist, so that made him not great.
that's the thing though. They celebrate his extremism because there is like a whole mural. Like it was actually really cool art. I'll take a picture and like paste it onto this video. It was actually really cool art. It was a really well drawn thing of Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger's face, and it had the quote. It had the quote on what's it called? What's it called? Don't put me in jail. Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors because they knew death was better than bondage. Like, I don't know. That's like kind of. I think that was like one of his more extremist things to say, you know. And that was something that is celebrated by.
I
people.
really wouldn't take it that seriously, Neeson.
I don't know. Like,
that's
it's just
my.
It was a pretty cool quote.
Here's the thing about Black Panther. It's a fine movie. As the movie on its own, it's fine. It's watchable. Actually, kind of has a dope soundtrack. I didn't really realize that. I think the issue with the soundtrack though is that the way it's edited in really undercuts the dramatic tension of any fucking scene. But it's fine. It's a really good soundtrack. The effects are fucking terrible for some reason.
Yeah. Like Claw's arm cannon was pretty garbage. I think the effects for that plane, the ancestral plane, I think that was pretty good. I think the sky, the purple sky, looked pretty nice.
Yeah, I actually like that. That was the thing I remember about them. I mean, the acting was all pretty good. It's just the writing, the directing, and Black Panther himself are all very stale.
I feel like Black Panther is more interesting in Civil War
because he's given something to do, and it's not a ripoff of The Lion King. Because the thing about T'Challa in that movie is he is great at being a king and, you know, handling social issues and stuff, and he is also great in hand-to-hand combat. He is invincible. So, yes, because he gets shot in the fucking head and he doesn't die.
Yeah, and I feel like there are no stakes. Like when like when he got defeated by Killmonger thrown off the waterfall. Like I was like, are you kidding me?
They also pretend that he's dead for some reason.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's really stuff like that really bogs it down. You need to make him fly. I know this is the same thing they did with Wonder Woman, and I get it. You want to create a good role model, and that's fine, but you can have him live up to that role model expectation by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
He needs to be flawed to begin with for anything to be interesting. That's just the truth. It's the truth with every character out there. He needs to be flawed in some way for him to be interesting and relatable. I can't relate to him because I'm not a great king, and I'm also not a great fighter. So at least if he was one of those things, I'd be like, I get you, buddy. I understand. You know?
I think the open borders thing, like whether they wanted to, you know, share their stuff with the rest of the world was pretty relatable. I guess there are some relatable things like with the decision making, being in charge, like a leadership type of role, you know.
Yeah, like, those things I think are great. I think those political aspects of it are great, and I think Killmonger's backstory and everything is great. But again, it's just the writing and all that stuff that bogs the movie down, and it just becomes boring. It's a boring movie. And I'm happy people like it, though. I mean, I'll give it that.
I enjoyed it. I bought it on Voodoo when it first, I buy all the movies, though. But, I feel like, it goes on the idea you can't satisfy everybody. With the whole politics thing. But that was already touched upon in Civil War, you know? Like, you can't say everybody, can't satisfy everybody.
I just think that it could have... That's the thing with Black Panther in particular, in the same way that Wonder Woman does, frustrates the shit out of me because there's so many interesting ideas that I like, that I want to see expressed better. So, like, you see what I'm saying? It's not like Doctor Strange didn't really have anything to say. Black Panther has something to say, but it just doesn't say anything.
I like Doctor Strange more than Black Panther.
See, I'd actually rather watch Black Panther.
I liked the action of Doctor Strange and the effects.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'd probably rate them the same then. I don't care which one you put on, I guess. But yeah, Black Panther, more so than anything, is just disappointing. Strong 5.
I liked what's it And I just noticed Black Panther and Black Panther and Spider-Man: Homecoming are both like sequels to Civil
A little bit, yeah.
War. What's next? I think it's Infinity War.
Strong 8.
It's an 8. Yeah. 9. Actually, I don't know. It's like Infinity War is in. I don't know why, but I remember so many lines from Infinity War.
It's a good movie.
I don't got much to say about Infinity War. I really don't have any issues with it, really. I don't know why. I just don't.
I mean, the only issues I have with it are just Hulk.
Hulk and Black Widow.
Hulk, yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
I think it was necessary for Hulk to step back, though.
I don't really have many problems with Infinity. For everything it does, I think it does everything well.
I mean, Russo brothers in charge of it.
Yeah. They know what they're doing, so I'm happy it's good as it is. I don't think you could make a movie like that any better, to be honest. It can't live up to be a masterpiece because it's still a dumb superhero movie in the world it's set in, so you're already, I guess given some creative limitations because you're making it for the company you're making it for. But for what it is, can't make it any better.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is next? Oh, wait, I give it an 8.
Fuck this movie.
Out of 10. I like Ant-Man and the Wasp. I give it a 6.5.
Give it a 3. Fuck Ant. I shouldn't say fuck Ant-Man. I just didn't like it.
I feel like they wasted Morpheus. I feel like he should have a better role to do or stuff to do.
I feel like they wasted a lot of things in that movie.
I did not think. I'm gonna get hate for this, but I did not think that the Wasp was a strong female character that much to me.
Which one is the Wasp?
Really? What's her name? That one chick. Ant-Man's girlfriend.
Is she another flawless character that isn't interesting? I forgot. I can't remember.
I guess so because she really good at karate stuff, martial arts. She has a better suit than.
It's so upsetting. You can make characters like these. They're not fucking difficult. They deal with Gamora and Nebula, and they kick way more ass than fucking a Wasp.
Yeah.
I forgot who the fucking Wasp was.
Because the Ghost was the antagonist. It really wasn't an antagonist.
I mean, I didn't. Let me read out my fucking review. Because why not? I think it'd be kind of funny. Because I think maybe be a good laugh. If I can fucking find it.
I get a. It was alright. I mean, the post-credit scene kind of carried it for me.
Okay, this is the review. It's So I just saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was pretty bad. I was never a fan of the first one, but I was interested to see where they would take the sequel, given the feedback of the first. As for what I liked, the small-scale threat and focus on creative ideas is a nice change of pace from the past couple Marvel movies. Fortunately, there was nothing in this movie for me. The directing was painfully average and uninteresting. The action is all very basic and riddled with quick cuts. And the score, as per usual with Marvel, is nothing special. Even worse is the writing halting the flow of the movie to tell jokes that connect with nothing. This isn't helped by the terrible editing and awful cuts. All the characters were given the bare minimum in terms of development, and had there been less, the movie would have felt more focused and possibly better paced. The cast as a whole did a very lazy job with portraying their respective roles, with the only exception being Hannah John Carmen's role as the Ghost. However, her performance and preparation for the role is also undercut by the terrible CG, bad color correction, both of which feel like a step down from everything in the past couple Marvel movies. Even things that probably aren't CG look very fake and cheap. Not disappointed with Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I definitely think it could have been much better. Had more effort been put in. 3 out of 10.
I give it a 5.8. It was fun.
All
It
right.
was fun. It was fun. It was fun.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I thought
I thought.
it was funny timing.
Bro, I can't. This girl's been pregnant this entire time. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Who the fuck?
5.8, 5.9. I forgot it existed, honestly. I was like, man, we're finally done. You know, we're just Infinity War and Captain Marvel. Oh, wait, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, I also thought I fucking forgot it existed too.
Sorry. Okay. Captain Marvel. I don't think you've seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. And I predict it's gonna be the same fucking thing as Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Black Panther. Same fucking movie, probably.
You probably will see her as just like another perfect person, actually. I give it a 6. No. 5 point. I can't. It's like a 5 or a 6. The Stan Lee tribute in the beginning was pretty emotional. I teared up. It was nice. I don't want to say cute because it's kind of like. Anyway, but it was really nice. It was pretty nifty in the beginning. Brie Larson tried. Like, I'm not gonna talk. I could go a whole spell about her politics, but all that aside, Brie Larson really tried. Like, she did a couple cute things. Like, I don't want to spoil this. I mean, it's been on for a while, so I'm gonna spoil this one little fight scene. Like, what's it called? One of the scrolls, they growl at her like, ah, and she like growls like, ah, like she like growls back at them. It was, you know, some things are hit or miss. It was a miss, but she really tried. It was kind of cute, in my opinion. You know, she really, really tried to be like funny, charismatic. You know.
I just feel bad because I want a movie like that to be good. Like,
they kind of shoehorned a couple of things in there I didn't like. It's still pretty. You know, I don't care. It's been out for a while. I don't want to spoil it to you though, but they shoehorned a couple of things in the movie that I did not like.
sure.
So like towards the end, the way Nick Fury lost his eye, it completely just ruined the moment Captain America: The Winter Soldier, when he like all intensely got into Cap's face, like, I'm supposed to somebody lost an eye. You know, that was just.
Why the fuck are you making him sound like a pirate? Samuel L. Jackson, what the fuck?
I can't do black people accent.
Alright, I don't want you to try.
I don't know. It was just.
I think it's. I think it's just gonna be the case for solo movies. I don't think they can do solo movies anymore.
I thought it was pretty good. I got a 6. No, it's good. That's hard for me. I'd give it like a 7 or 8.
I'd give it a hypothetical 5 because I know for a fact.
I don't think you're gonna like it. I think you'll like Samuel L. Jackson. Actually, I don't know because Samuel L. Jackson was just a goofball in the movie. I mean,
that's Samuel L. Jackson though. I fucking love Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, but he's like never. Nick Fury's not goofy in any of the other movies.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, he's kind of goofy.
Oh, his fucking leg broke. That's so sad.
I don't know.
Oh shit, poor Kodama. It's gonna be okay. Well, yeah, that's all the
MCU movies. I think we should do another one of these, but we review all the DCEU movies.
Why would you want me to do that? What the fuck
I'm
is
gonna like
wrong
rewatch
with you?
them too, like briefly.
The only one I can get through that doesn't make me want to fucking vomit is like Wonder Woman. You know,
I don't know.
here's the thing: is if they say, this is what I think, if you cut Wonder Woman right whenever Chris Pine tells Wonder Woman that people in the world are just shitty, and that it's about like a small scale victory. If you cut it right there, and just imagine Chris Pine and Wonder Woman going off to defuse a bomb on a plane, having a small scale victory. Wonder Woman learns an important life lesson about humanity and how evil isn't black and white. Movie becomes a lot better. But no.
I guess.
But whatever. It's fine.